back to For Real, and welcome to the Wednesday News Moto. A special hello if you're new to the channel. Just a quick request, if you, our amazing subscribers, could please share our channel with friends, family, or anyone you think would like to watch it, we would appreciate it greatly. We are only 1,200 subscribers away from the big 10,000, and that would be an incredible milestone to reach. The more people who watch, the more money we earn from YouTube, which we in turn donate to charities in Cambodia. We'll never ask you for anything except to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Heartprint, for providing us with another lovely ride. This time we tour some lesser-known streets in Siem Reap before heading out of town along some quiet country roads. In case you don't know, Heartprint is one of the charities that we support. They're based in Siem Reap and they have a range of community-based programs, including one where they build houses for very poor families. If you follow them on Facebook, you'll see photos of the houses that they build, along with photos of the other programs that they run. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of August, and in today's news we'll check in with the monkeypox patient, look at what Cambodia is importing and what they aren't, talk about gun misuse, and of course monitor the nighttime carnage on Phnom Penh's roads. First, an update on the overstaying, border-hopping monkeypox carrier. Cambodia's Secretary of State and spokesperson of the Ministry of Health has given an update on the Nigerian man who fled to Cambodia from Thailand after being diagnosed with the virus. She said the man is still in hospital and is still testing positive for monkeypox. His health status is reported to be satisfactory. 5 people who were in direct contact with the man are in home quarantine at the moment, but they're asymptomatic and in good health. While we're looking at viruses and things of that nature, let's do a quick COVID update. There are now 243 active COVID cases that have been diagnosed by PCR test in the kingdom, with no new deaths reported. In reality, these numbers must of course be higher, but with the vaccination efforts and the lower age of the population, Cambodia will hopefully not see any more ill effects from the virus. Low quality food can lead to ill effects though, which in turn can reduce workers' productivity and wages. It's such a vicious cycle. Food vendors working outside factories sell cheap dishes made with poor quality ingredients to factory workers who have no choice but to buy these cheap foods due to their low wages. One factory worker said, "Since the food is inexpensive, I can tolerate it, but it isn't sufficiently nourishing or healthy. These days, what we eat is disgusting and filthy. I continue to eat such food and feel uncomfortable because I cannot afford to buy higher-priced meals such as ones that cost 4,000 riel, which is $1. Another worker said, "I'm working to support my family as we have financial difficulties. The fast food for sale in front of the factory is not good quality, and I know that it is not good for my health. The meat and vegetables the vendors use is very low quality or almost spoilt. Even though I'm aware of this, I cannot help it. I have to eat what I can afford." A third worker said due to financial constraints, eating wholesome meals is impossible for factory workers. "Our daily diet puts our health in danger, and I completely understand as I am aware that the food that is sold to us these days is either unhealthy or made with inferior ingredients." Another worker said, "I pay 2,000 reals for lunch, which includes 500 riel for rice and 1,500 riel for soup. With my current wage, I cannot buy lunch for $1, otherwise my family will suffer. I was born poor, so as long as I can breathe and work to earn money, it doesn't matter if I consume poor quality food." That is just heartbreaking. Hopefully wages will increase soon so that these people can look after themselves and their families. It's very hard to imagine having to choose between the 50-cent meal or the $1 meal, and know that if you choose the dearer one, it will impact your family. This next story is strange due to the range, price and origin of the products. The General Department of Customs and Excise of Cambodia has introduced temporary measures on the import of certain instant noodles and ice creams made in Thailand, Vietnam and France, after reports from EU countries that they contain ethylene oxide, which can pose a health risk to consumers. From the 1st of August, all imports of Lucky Me, which is made in Thailand, and Hao Hao noodles that are made in Vietnam, and also Häagen-Dazs ice cream, but only the vanilla flavour, which is made in France, must be accompanied by a certificate containing an analysis of ethylene oxide content from the Food Authority of the exporting country. So keep a lookout for that if you're in the market for some expensive vanilla ice cream. Also being imported into the kingdom, after decades of intensive poaching of tigers in Cambodia, the animals disappeared, but the country is planning to reintroduce the big cats. There are plans to relocate them from India for release in protected areas, with the hopes to rehabilitate the extinct species. The initiative by the Ministry of Environment and partner organisations officially launched the Zero Snaring campaign in Mundulkiri province on Friday, in conjunction with International Tiger Day. The last tiger was photographed by a camera trap in 2007 in Mundulkiri and was declared extinct in the country in 2016. Mundulkiri is the fourth province in the eastern region bordering the Mekong River to participate in the campaign to stop snaring and poaching in Cambodia's protected areas, while transforming these areas into a safe haven for all kinds of species. This campaign seeks to eradicate all types of snaring by raising public awareness. Cambodia is seeking to bring in a number of tigers, but the exact numbers are not known at this stage. The next two stories show why you should never drink and shoot. A Commune Police Deputy Chief was yesterday arrested for allegedly shooting 3 bullets outside a restaurant in an inebriated state in Phnom Penh. Luckily, the shooting did not cause any injuries. The incident took place outside the KSS Coffee House located in Phnom Penh's Rasikeo district. The suspect and his 3 friends dined and drank a lot of beer at KSS Coffee. At around 9:30 p.m, the suspect had become drunk. He walked out of the restaurant alone and withdrew a pistol from his waist and fired 3 shots into the sky facing the restaurant. After the shooting, he went inside the shop as if nothing had happened and continued drinking with his friends, a witness stated. However, residents alerted the police, who rushed to the scene on motorbikes and saw the 4 men drinking inside the restaurant. While questioning them, it was found that the Commune Police Deputy Chief was the culprit and he was taken into custody. They also seized his pistol, along with 5 unused bullets. It was later found that the firearm did not have a licence. Shots have also been fired in Siem Reap. A real estate proprietor was arrested for allegedly brandishing a pistol and firing into the air during a quarrel with his wife. The man was arrested at about midnight at his house. During the argument, he took out a pistol and fired 4 shots into the air inside his house. The man's wife and neighbours alerted the police, who went to the house. They seized the gun and 6 bullets. The Ministry of Rural Development is calling for punitive measures to deal with overweight vehicles, especially trucks, from damaging rural roads. If you've ever driven in Cambodia and gone outside of the main city roads, you'll know what we're talking about here. Overloaded and overweight vehicles are known to avoid weighing stations along national roads by taking a detour using rural roads. A spokesman from the ministry said many of our rural roads are badly damaged by these overweight vehicles, especially when it rains. The potholes in dirt roads can be as big as a motorcycle and deep too. Ordinary cars will have difficulties traversing such roads. We can only educate the drivers of overweight vehicles, especially trucks, but our advice is falling on deaf ears. If we have the power to take action against such road abusers, we are certain it will dramatically reduce the damage to rural roads across the country. Every year we have to repair about 17,000 kilometres of damaged roads in the kingdom. So that would be a lot of money that they wouldn't have to spend. In the age-old battle of Phnom Penh drivers versus immovable objects, there can only ever be one victor, as one unfortunate driver found out. According to security guards at the scene, a white 2006 Toyota Prius was seen travelling in an erratic fashion along Route 516 from east to west at a moderate speed. Suddenly, the man lost control of his vehicle and slammed into a stone lamppost, severely damaging both post and car. The driver then fled the scene, leaving his vehicle behind as a mute witness to the crash. An elderly driver has had his world inverted by 180 degrees in Phnom Penh and luckily escaped without injuries. According to sources at the scene, a white Toyota Fortuner driven by an elderly man was seen travelling along Pasteur Road from north to south. Suddenly, a Hilux Vigo travelling at high speed smashed into him and flipped his vehicle upside down. Fortunately, none of the drivers or passengers were injured in the incident. An apparently drunk pass-up driver found his world turn on its side after he ploughed into a car in Phnom Penh. A black Peugeot luxury car was travelling along Route 230 from west to east at moderate speed. Suddenly, a white tuk-tuk smashed into the side of the car. The tuk-tuk was flipped on its side, but fortunately the driver did not suffer any serious injuries. The incident ended with the Peugeot driver demanding $100 for damage to his vehicle. Lastly today, we've got a good news story for you. The women's wheelchair basketball team scored a monumental upset against Thailand to secure Cambodia's first gold medal in the 2022, which is the 11th, ASEAN Para Games in Indonesia. The Cambodian team edged Thailand out 7-5 in the women's wheelchair 3x3 finals yesterday. They beat a heavily favoured Thai team. Cambodia has recently started to focus on the development of its men's and women's wheelchair basketball teams, and Cambodia is going to host the next version of the ASEAN Para Games in 2023. That brings us to the end of the news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the kingdom for this week. Thank you so much for watching. As always, links to the stories mentioned will be in the description of the video, and we'd like to thank Heartprint again for providing today's ride. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.